What's up, guys? I think we're live. Welcome back to another video, another live. This is going to be the weekly review today, and I want to talk specifically about one thing, and that's a common thing I hear all the time. So you'll see with the title of this video that 98% of people I talk to do this completely wrong. Okay, they're not good at that, and you probably wonder what that is exactly, and that is preparation. Coming up before the market starts, preparing yourself for the week, making sure things are fine, and the next part you add to that is review. So today we'll do both. So we'll do preparation and review. I'll go through some charts. You guys will be able to see what I look for. And let me see that everything's working fine over here. But yeah, by the way, you guys comment below in the chat. I know there's Steve so far. What's up, Steve? So you guys can comment below in the chat and let me know if that's working fine. Should be fine, but for my computer, it doesn't seem to work fine, which is weird. But that should be fine anyway. Okay, we're good. Awesome. Perfect, guys. So let's do this right now. I want to go through some charts, and if you have any example you want me to look at, let me know. New York, awesome. Yeah, if you have an example of chart you want me to look at, let me know down below in the comment. I might not look at all of them. There's a lot of them. I want to show you at least one or two trades, probably two. One loser, one winner. And we'll do this. So what's up? You guys comment below in the chat if you're watching me live now. Comment where you're from. I'm kind of curious. Here it's really cold in Montreal, so you let me know. But yeah, let's jump on the chart right now. It's gonna be messy. Yeah, okay, we should be fine. So here we go. I want to go to the top list. Actually, let me show you a trade first, a winning trade first, which I took last week on Euro CAD. And by the way, there's gonna be a lot of changes this week in the weekly review, so you guys stay tuned. Make sure that you do your changes, because a lot of zones I've seen in the past, they're kind of broken now. Okay, so we have to adjust this. So EuroCAD, exactly. We said last week, and you can watch the video again if you want to really watch it and stuff. You could watch this, and we said last week that if price was to broke down below this wick over here, okay, then we would be looking for the opposite to the next zone, okay, because this is not a support anymore. If we break down below this zone right here, okay, let me correct that, below this zone right here, and what you will see is that price didn't break below, so of course we pushed above a little bit, and actually I will be looking for bullish shit up there, okay. Nicholas is right, Quebec is even more cold, but yeah, so I said we'll be looking for bullish shit up on this level, okay. And what you see is that you don't trade on the weekly chart. So this is the weekly chart. You don't trade there because that's a waste of time. That's long, that's painful. If you like it, do it. But I don't personally do it. Okay. Now we came into the week last Monday. Price was near this support here, bouncing a little bit. Okay. So I think Monday was like over here. So the 5th. Yeah. So market opened on the 4th. And then we went down and the 5th. And we get this break of the Bollinger Band right over here. Okay, so break of the Bollinger Band, and this is not a valid reason to trade. Oh, and here's a trade signal, which we'll have a look after. Okay, by the way, this is what you see on the right here. This is the trading assistant sending alerts, which I didn't plan at all. But yeah, so that's gonna be interesting to look at. We'll look at the alerts at the same time. Why not? And 2 alerts coming. Awesome, nice. Okay. Anyway, so price broken the Bollinger Band. This is not a valid reason to trade at all. Okay, that's only a sign. That's only a first kind of alert, kind of notification telling us, well, price is now at an extreme point. Okay, and we don't know what that means. Could mean that price could shoot down really fast, or that's gonna reverse. We don't know, and that's why we want to combine things. So I combined the engulfing candles. So look at what price did when it broke down this Bollinger Band here. We had this first candlestick, bearish, second one here, kind of indecision candlestick, and then it turned one that's an engulfing candle. Okay, so that's a pretty good sign that you are at an extreme point, but that price shows some momentum to the upside, some reversal sign with this engulfing candle, a close above the high of the previous candlestick. That's a strong sign. Yes, you enter above the high, your stop loss below the low. And reward the risk, I do 3 to 1. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, approximately here. I don't know, didn't calculate this. And then you put, so for me, I take partial profits at 1 to 1, which is going to be around here. and this was a profitable trade, okay? And I want to show you both profitable and not profitable trades because they all happen. But keep in mind, this one is going to give you like 2R on average, okay? So based on this 2R, that means that you would have to win 32% or more of your trades, okay? Which is not that tough, okay? And for me, it's about 40% that I win, 45% that I win. Okay, just want to put these measures there because like you know what to expect, and you know that even if you win like what for 40% of your trade, you're still fine, and you still have a big edge. Okay, so that's just the principle. And I used to trade, like I said a few videos back, this with a 1.5 to 1. So take partial profit at 1, reward to risk, and 2. That gives you 1.5. And in this case, I think you have to, I didn't calculate this, but you have to win more than that. Okay, more than 33. It's maybe like 40% or something. Okay, just keep that in mind. That's just a, yeah. But even with this, I would win like 50 or 60% of my trades. Okay, so it all depends on what you prefer. So we've done EuroCAD, but we'll get back to it. I want to show you now the pairs, and we'll go through most of them because I didn't do my review yet, and that's kind of bad. I tend to do it earlier than that, but let's go through the pairs. So last week, EuroCAD, we said that we expected price to maybe show some reversal signs over here. This was a resistance area at 0.94. Price kind of shoot up the past week. Okay, so this means that this zone here is not good anymore. So we have to look to the next zone, and the next zone is going to be right here, 0.97. It's a good place to look for bearish shoot up. Okay, we're not there yet, so I'll unflag the pair over here to not look at it too closely, but we're getting there. So in a week or two, we could look back at this pair and say, oh, it's at the zone now. So now we can look at setups. But for now, it's not really interesting. Okay, so that's a big change. If you wait for, if you still look for bearish setup here, it might not be the best because you're kind of between two zones. So you might prefer to wait for price to hit the level over here. Okay. And any question you guys have on that, comment below in the chat. I want to know. I'll explain if I need to. Okay, to make this really clear, and to make sure to be prepared. Because keep in mind, as we said first, 98% of people I talk to don't ever do this. They just go from week to week with looking for trades when they show up on Monday morning, and they are chasing the trades. Okay, plus they don't review. They don't look at their chart again to see what happened. Okay, and I'll have a big review to do soon for some tests I've been running, and I'll probably spend like a whole afternoon trying to review stuff, all the trades for like the past month or two, which is going to be insane, but it's going to be really interesting. So more on that later anyway. That's not for now. LDGPY. So here's a mess on the chart. This is this is pretty bad. I've been doing a lot of drawing, having a lot of fun here. But okay, LDGPY is at a support area. Okay, basically this is the low of the support. We should remove some drawings anyway. So low of support here, and basically if price is going to break below this low, okay, the wick over here, it's a sign that the zone is gonna not work out, okay, and not be interesting to trade. Okay, so for now we can still look for bullish shit up, but if it's gonna break below this low over here, I'll stop looking. And if it's break too far here, I'll start trading too, because that's not the zone anymore. Okay, so two zones we can look at are this one there, 0.89 and 0.82. Okay, those are the two zones to look for now. Okay, and if we expected price to go lower over here, it didn't, and that's why you have to adapt and look at what the market does. So that's a cool example, I think. Okay, so that's it for this pair, and we can look on lower time frame just to see. Yeah, so price is approaching here. That's good, and then yeah, okay, we're close to the lower bands. That's a good place to look for bullish setup. Good place to look for bullish setup on this lower band over here, but we'll have to wait. You'll have to look closely. I'll keep it flagged because I want to look at it a little bit more. ADNZD. ADNZD is breaking of a level. Okay, so this is something I don't trade because it's like outside the level for now. The level's more here at 1.086, and now we broke below. Okay, so this is why it's not flagged, because we wait for the next level, which is going to be here at 1.04, I believe. Okay, or the other thing we can look at that's interesting is if price was to go above over here, we can do a retest, and then we can look for bearish up there. That's the other option. But for now, looks like price is the lower band anyway, so we have to wait for price to hit the upper band, push back above a little bit more, and then do a move to the downside. That is it for AUD. This is not useful. AUD, I think we had a setup on this, and that's probably this over here. I'll just take a look and show you guys in the meantime what the trading assistant look like. Okay, this, I'm not sure if it's going to be linked below. I can't remember if I linked it below. I don't think so. But if you go on the website, check out the trading assistant. Okay. Basically, I should maybe hide this a little bit. So, we got a bunch of setup this morning. And I'll just try to find the one on AUD. Oh, yeah, AUD CAD too. Interesting. AUD this one over here. Okay. So basically, yeah, that's what we saw earlier. Because the price was to pull back here. This is the forward chart. And if we want to enter the trade, we have all the parameters over here. Okay. It's a bit messy here because we have both digits, but that's fine. We get the principle, right? So this is good. Now what you take with this is you keep this in mind. Okay, and you would go on your chart right here, and then this really won't take it because of the fact that it's not at the zone. Okay, I prefer to have more setup. We have a filter to kind of filter the zones in the trading assistant to make sure that you get only the setup within your zone. But I just get all of them because I like to have all of them. And if I make a mistake, then I can correct and see. But this one is not one I would take. Okay, because of the fact that we're between two zones, between 0.70 and 0.75, and we're not at the resistance area or support area at all. Okay, so we can actually trade that. But it's good that we get the alert, we know what's happening. And in case we had other strategies, other ways to trade, based on whatever the trend or whatever, then we could still trade. We could still use that, okay? But that's not what we'll use for now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll answer your question in a couple of minutes. I just want to finish those pairs, but good question so far. Wretched and Nicholas, awesome. CAD CHF is between two zones. We're not going to trade that for this week. So we wait for price to hit, and it's pretty close. Wait for price to hit the 178 area, so 179 right here. And that's where we'll look for bearish sit-ups. Euro AUD is, right at the support. Nice. At 1.57. It's been there the past week also. Last week didn't do much except going down a little bit. But we can still look for bullish sit-up on this pair. Okay. On the lower time frame. Based on the fact that it bounced here a few times in the past. So over here. One here again. There. Now it's coming back to the same level. Okay. It's a pretty good level, but we had no trade so far. Good thing is that price is like near to the lower band here on the 6-minute chart. So that's a good sign. But we'll have to wait for engulfing candles and all that stuff again after. Okay. But that is a good pair. Euro CAD, as we talked about earlier, is still at the support area. Okay, we took a trade on this, but we can still look for more trades. Although I have a feeling it's gonna go back down. Okay, based on the fact that we had these wicks and price just comes back down to the wick. But we never know. Okay, we cannot be assured of that. So you look for bullish setup on this, in my opinion. And yeah. But so far we know setup over here. Okay. And then if price is to break down of this area, you look for the next zone, which is over here at 1.40. Okay, a round number. Here in between, it's kind of a middle point, middle zone, which you could trade. I won't trade that, but if you want to look at it and really take more trades, you could do it. Okay. Euro GBP is back at the support area. We talked about this one last week too. Back at 0.87, and you can look for bullish trades at this level. Okay. And basically, we had no setup yet. Oh man, okay. Yeah, no setup so far, and that is about it for this pair. No, we have nothing. I can show you. That's kind of bad. But you look for bullish setup at this level, okay? And yeah, exactly. Euro USD is doing something interesting. So this is a pair where you have to shift your perspective of things. So look at price was at this level for a long time. This is 1.17 to 1.14, and it made this wick, which we talked about last week. Okay, and basically this is a wick. We said if price is going to break below this wick, we have to look for so if it's going to close below this wick, okay, we have to look for the opposite zone, the next zone over here. It looks like price didn't close yet below the wick, okay, because we're here playing below the wick. But it's going to be cool to see how price reacts to that level, okay, whether it's going to break or, I mean, close below, okay. So if it closes here below the wick of this previous wick, then it's a sign that the zone is broken, and we have to look for our next zone. If it's going to do like another wick, and so let's say now it goes here and comes back here and closes there, then it's a good sign that we can trade this zone, okay, and we can look for still more bullish sit-ups. But we have to be careful with this. And by the way, we did have a trade last week on this. I missed it, but I'll show you. I think I was doing this video and then I saw the trade and I told you guys I entered the trade. But I think what happens, the entry was a little bit below the price now, and then price just shoot up in the right direction and I was not triggered, okay? So here it was, and I showed this last week, okay? No need to kind of go back on it. But the same principle, break outside the Bollinger Band, engulfing candle. You enter above the high, stop loss below the low. You're at risk of 3 to 1. And partial profit at 1 to 1. This is not 3, this is like messy. But you do the 3 to 1, of course. Okay? And that was a good trade. Like on EuroCAD. Same thing. And we didn't have any other trade after this, I think. No, price just went down. And it should be the same on the forward chart. Yeah. So no trades on this, but cool to look at. Cool. Nicholas says bullish on, bearish on Euro USD. Yeah. For me, I just like to wait for the low to be broken. Then I'll be bearish. Then I'll maybe wait for a retest, or I'll wait for the next zone, basically. JPCAD, nothing to look at. We had a setup right here that we just flagged with the assistant, which I showed you before. But basically, this is not at a support area, so I won't take the trade. Okay, because we're between two zones. I would have to look for bullish trades. Didn't sleep. No, so bullish trades at 1.60, and that would be the best zone to look for trades. But in the meantime, not much. Okay. GPCHF is a different story. So this one is at a resistance area. And again, we look at the wicks, right? So this wick over here. Last week we had a bullish wick. So we kind of pushed the wick a little bit above. Make this bigger. So yeah, we pushed the wick over here. And that means that this is the zone where we stop looking for bearish trades. We are at the resistance area right here. So now we can still look for bearish trades. Okay. If I was naked, we might have something on this in the past week. No, I didn't trade this pair, but sometimes there's trades that are less reliable that I could show you, but I don't think it happened with this pair, so no. But here we got a bullish setup. Again, we don't take this. Even though I get the alert, I won't take this one. I know for a fact, because I've looked at the zones before, that this is not a pair I'll trade. Okay, this is a pair I'll put aside and wait for it to show me a bearish setup, or wait till I get at the right zone. GPGPY is a little bit messy. That's why it's on flag, even though it's kind of at a resistance area over here. But it looks super messy, so I won't really trade that for this week. Okay. JPNZD was at a support area. If I'm yeah, support area, which it broke. Okay, interesting. So the pair was at a support area at 1.96, broke below the past week. Here's a sign that we stop looking for the zone there. Now we look for the next zone, or we look for a retest of the zone. Okay, so retest would mean price would push a little bit here above and then come back down. And that's your retest trade. Or will you wait for price to hit the lower level and then look for a bullish shit up? Okay. I tend to favor these like trades of the zone, not the retest, but you do whatever you prefer, and they both work fine. Okay, so basically now we wait for price to hit this level, 1.88, and I'll unflag the pair for now. Okay, till we get to the level. GBP USD is between two zones, but we still look for bullish up on this. So basically, price made this low over here. To me, that's the low of the support. So if we break below this low, then I look for the opposite. Okay, so the next zone here, or a retest once again. So retest will mean this. Okay, but for now we're still there, and I still look for bullish shit up. Although what I see now here is that I just said the opposite. So let me take a look at the overall picture. Yeah, so sorry for that, guys. What I look for over here is I look for a bearish trade, okay, bearish setup, because we broke below the low over here. We're coming back to retest. We did a retest trade over here, which you could have taken, and then price is back down. So we can still look for bearish trades on this pair, okay. And basically, I don't think we have a trade that we had a trade last week. We just go and have a look. This is not a good setup. This is not a good setup. It's kind of a good setup here. Yeah, this is a good setup. So we had this trade, which was a losing trade. Okay, and I kind of want to show this also because of the fact that it's good to know. Yeah, it's good to know that some trades won't work out, and as I said before, a lot of them won't work out. And I'll explain if you guys know why this trade over here is not a valid trade, comment below in the chat so other people can know. I won't really go over that unless you guys want to, but comment below in the chat why this is not a good trade to take, okay? And it's not because it's a loser, it's because it's not a good trade to take. So comment below if you know the answer. But in the meantime, I want to go through this trade right here. So we talked about the level before. Price was shooting to a resistance area at 1.31. We had this break of the Montreal, a really small break, okay? It's a small candle here. Not a big engulfing, kind of small. And basically you enter below the low, stop loss above the high, and you want to risk of 3-to-1 and partial profits, so you close half at 1-to-1, okay? And this is the trade. This is how it looks like. Now on this trade, it's kind of a full loss. So price just shoot up, and we had no profit, just a loss, simple loss, okay? And that is not a good trade. We had another setup over here. You could have taken that too. Although usually what I do is I enter 5 pip below the low. Okay, I'm not sure this is 5 pip. I don't think so. On a 60-minute chart, it's at 5 pip. So you would have probably avoided entering this trade if you respected the 5 pip rule. If you don't, then it's fine. You might have some more entries, but this trade would have been also a loser. Okay, so another step, which is an engulfing candle breaking outside the Bollinger Band. You enter below the low, stop loss above the high, and a right to risk of 3-to-1. Okay, and that would have been another trade, but I would not have probably not have entered this one. So that's a fact. Okay, so it's awesome. And you guys didn't comment below yet why not entering this trades. I'm not sure if there's a delay or what, but I think I'll explain then if you guys really want to know why. Yeah. Okay. So guys, I want to explain why this is not a good trade setup. This one over here. And that's for the reason that for what I've seen so far in my 2 years of and even like 3 years of trading this, is the fact that when you have to enter the trade, well, two things about this trade, in fact. Number one, when you have to enter the trade beyond the middle band of the Bollinger Band, it's giving much less room for profit, okay, for a move. Because like, if you enter here, so let's say if you enter like here on this trade, you put your stop loss above the high, that's a huge stop loss, right? That's pretty crazy. And then you have to aim for 3 times that as your profit, which is like crazy, like here or something, okay? and that's not cool. That's not good. That's the first thing. So you have less room for profit. Now the other thing, the other reason why you don't enter these trades is the fact that price didn't go beyond the low on the next candlestick. Okay, so the low over here on the first candlestick is like this. Okay, and the second one didn't even go below that, beyond that low, so below the low, and that's not a good sign, because these trades with the Bollinger Band, you don't want them to like waste time and go around and do random stuff. You want them to happen, and if they don't happen on the next candlestick, meaning if your trade is not triggered on the next candlestick, it's a really bad sign, and that's why I wouldn't take these trades on the 60-minute chart. Okay, because the fact that it didn't go below the low, and it's below the middle band, so not good to enter at all. Okay, those are usually going to be losers, so you want to be careful. And it has to be triggered like on the next candlestick, not like 5 candlestick after, but the next one. And that's what I found to be the best. So could be different for you, but that's like what I've tested quite a lot, and that works well. So a couple of examples of trades on JPUSD. And we'll keep this one flag for bearish setups. Entity CAD is this one here, was at a resistance area last week. Now it's broken above. You will unflag it and wait for the next zone, either a retest of this area over here, or the other thing is price going to this level and then showing us a bearish trade. Okay, but in the meantime, you cannot look for much. You have to wait, and that's why the pair is now on flag over here. And by the way, you should really flag your pair here. The pairs to look at, I always have a watch list for the week, okay? Because that's useful, and you even have like now more different colors, which is pretty cool. But this way you can keep track of like what you look for the week, okay? And do you have to flag this one? I'm not sure. Okay, perfect. So entity CAD, not much to look at. S&P should be flag. I don't even trade that. Use the CAD. Okay, USD CAD is between two zones now. So we were looking for bullish trades on this level here. I think we took a few bullish trades at this level. Okay, we even have one over here, which is not a valid one, but we had one over here. Okay, the same principle. And this was a pretty big stop loss, but it's still fine. Still respect the rule, so I will still take that trade. We're gonna go over that. That was when on the second. So we probably talked about that in the last review. So that's why. And here we had no setup this past week. Oh, we did have one. Yeah, we did have one here, which I forgot about. Let's talk about that after. Okay. So price was here at the support area, 1.29, and it pushed beyond. Okay. So push beyond mostly this past week, quite a lot. So this is a place where you can look for continuation trades of this support area. Okay, so either you look for trades over here. If you miss them, it's on the end of the wall. You can look for more trades after that, more continuation trades, and that's what you could do here in the past week, because we're kind of beyond this 1.29 area of support. And the next one to look at is 1.35. Okay, right here above. So price is near there, so we can look for bearish trades soon. But I just want to show you what happened over here. Okay, so in case you miss your trade setup here at the zone, which might happen, or there might not be a trade setup there. Okay, whatever is the case. Usually, when you have no trade setup, or when you have a good like a strong push, you can look for more trades after that. And what happens here? What happens here is that price pushed above and did this kind of starting a trend on the 6-minute chart. Like if you draw a trend line over here, you could probably do it pretty well. Okay, and then price came back down over here, like really strong break of the Bollinger Band with 3 candlestick. That was probably in use at this point. And then we have this engulfing candle, not that strong, but still counting as an engulfing candle. And this was why I'm way back now in October. Let me go forward with this up. I want to show you. So we have this one, which is not that valid, less reliable, and we have this one, which is more reliable. this one is because, well, you guys comment below in the chat if you know why this one is not valid. Okay, and I'll just show you this one. So break of the Bollinger Band, engulfing candle, you enter above the high, stop loss below the low, reward the risk of 3 to 1, whatever that is, wherever that is on the chart. And this one would have been a break-even trade, I believe. Okay, so you take half here, and the other half isn't triggered. Okay, I think it's like beyond that point. It's like somewhere here. So this one is not triggered, the second one. So you get a break-even trade, stopped out here, and that's about it for the trade. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So that's the first trade. Now the other one, which no one commented about, which I'm kind of sad because I share this like a lot. Okay. So I'll explain why this one is not a valid trade setup. And it's valid, it's just less reliable. You have to keep that in mind. If the price broke down of here, I assumed for myself in the past that the trades that kind of waste time at the Bollinger Band are less reliable. Okay, that's kind of what I've noticed. So price broke here, then it went outside the Bollinger Band, kind of like outside, inside, it's kind of inside over here, and then engulfing candle, breaking outside a little bit. It's not that reliable because the other one before doesn't break outside the Bollinger Band. So less extreme point, in my opinion. And the market kind of got adapted to it. In this case, it would have been more profitable because like you enter above the high, stop loss below the low, and you are at risk of 3 to 1, which would be like somewhere here. Okay, so more profitable here in this case. But in general, these are not that profitable. Okay, so just keep in mind, you always have a picture for why this is profitable, why it's not. Just have to look at the stats overall, the overall picture, and that gives you a much better clue than one trade at a time. Okay, so that's what it looks like. But now I'm gonna stop looking for trades because we're kind of past level for now, and wait for the next zone. So wait for this zone at 1.35 to look for better setups. Okay. And USDJPY is at a resistance area now, 114, and you look for bear trades over there. And we had nothing so far in the past week. Okay, it's not a good setup. And this, no, not here. So no setup so far. We had this one over here, but again, this one is not a valid setup because we would enter below the middle band. Not good. And this is not a good setup either. Okay, so no setup on this pair, but we can still look for bear setup there at this level because we didn't break at all beyond this resistance area at 114. So we still look for bear trades there. And finally, USD SJD, a pair I really love. I talked about this last week, and this is a drawing I took for a video, not useful at all. I'll leave that after anyway. But we can look for bear setup there. So here's a trade that is not valid at all again, because we will have to enter below the low, below the middle band of the Bollinger Band, and that's not good. And then we had this over here, which we talked about a few times. I think this was last week. That is about it for this pair. Okay, for now. We had no other trade set up for this. So that's about it for USD SJD. So guys, we've done all the pairs. That's a lot. That's crazy. I think I'll go through your question. And I've seen a few about... I've seen one about... how do you set up the Bollinger Bands? Well, it's the basic settings. So 22. This should be expanded. Yeah, here. Yeah, 22 Bollinger Band. Apply and close. Pretty simple, straightforward. The basic rule that most people use for the Bollinger Band. And Bruce was saying never use the Bollinger Band, so I don't understand how they work, and that's easily solved. So Bruce, I have a video on that topic with the Bollinger Band, how to use it, why it works, why I believe in it, and you can watch this. It's pretty in depth, and yeah, that covers everything. So that's a pretty good thing. But to me, that's the tool that makes the most sense out of all the other tools in the trading technical analysis industry. So that's why I use it, and it works fine. So yeah. You can trade it different ways, of course. I trade the reversal way, But you can trade with the trend, you can trade different patterns, but yeah, that's how I trade it. I've seen another comment here from, what's that? Nicholas. What is your experience about volatility during Christmas time? It's pretty slow. It's pretty slow in general. So you want to be careful with kind of what you trade. You might even take some time off if you want. Let me go back to this. Yeah, you might take some time off if you want, if you don't want to trade. And I probably won't trade that much because it's like the summer. Trades are less profitable. And with the bonus trend, sometimes what happens is that you would enter, say, a trade, and it would just like fall in the opposite direction. I've seen this a lot, so I tend to not trade too much. Okay, and maybe like what you can do, which will be interesting, is depending on your style, could be different. But I would take a demo account. I would trade everything, okay, during the holiday, during whatever time you want, and then at the end compare what are the results there, as opposed to not trading. Okay, and then you have two stats. One is like the demo account of trading the trades you were supposed to take. The other one is like no trading, and then you compare which one's better. And next year, when you have a chance, then you readjust and do what you think is best. So either trade or not trade, or maybe trade less. Okay, so make sure that you take some trades, the best ones, but not the ones that are gonna fail. At least you have to measure it, and you really back yourself up by data, and that's much better than wasting time and expecting to trade or not. Okay, so I would do this actually. And by the way, I still like take all these trades in the demo account, so I do both my live trading and my demo account, and then I compare. So I take also less reliable trades in my demo account, and then I compare what the results are. Okay, so that I know here this is live I make whatever 5% for example. What if I make like 7 in the demo account, but taking maybe less reliable trades, but maybe sometimes they're better on some pairs, and I want to test this. I want to make sure that I know what the stats are best for. Okay, and that's what you should do. Nicholas says, or you could lower your lot to 1/10 if you want. It could be a good idea also. Yeah, could be a good idea too. If you really want to trade, then yeah, lower it if you want. But for me, I don't know. There's something I like, and I've done this for like a few years, which is I tend to close my trades like before the holiday starts, like on the 23rd of December, something of the sort. And then I just like close them, and I start again in January. So I start fresh. And this time, in the meantime, can be used to review, to look at your data, to track your trades, to do whatever you want to work on. Like whatever you need to work on, do that then. I've done, like, for me, the holidays in the past were a big season of backtesting and going through charts and testing stuff, okay? And making sure I was ready for the next year. So that's another option. I think that's better as opposed to kind of taking trades that are going to get you like a few dollars. I don't think it's worth it. So up to you. Yeah. Carson says, I trade 5k loss during low volatility times. Yeah, you could do that to keep the losses minimal. Exactly. But you have to choose between putting in the effort to trade and maybe making a few dollars, or working on trading and becoming better and making sure that you show up next year better than you were last year. So I would do this more than trading for a few dollars, in my opinion. But you decide what you prefer, of course. That's your call on that. Okay. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it once again. And we've done a lot of charts today. It's been an hour, 35 minutes. That's a lot of charts. But comment below what you thought. Build a video if you want. Also, there should be a link in the description exactly for the merch. We just launched this, so I have a few things that I've been able to put together for you guys. Some shirts. It's gonna be linked below if you want to check it out. If not, it's fine. It's a good holiday gift if you want, or just tell your wife to buy this for your holidays or whatever. You do whatever you want. There's one comment here. Let me see. Someone was saying, should I recalculate my lot size for every trade? I would say so. Recalculate your lot size for every trade. Yes, for sure. Based on the fact that all trades they have a different stop loss. So for me, if I have a trade with like 50 pip and one with 100 pip, then they won't have the same stop loss, like the position size. One's gonna have more, and the one's gonna have less. And that's why it's important to calculate all the time. And by the way, with the trading assistant, right, with the alerts that I get, let me show you this over here. We do have a thing Oh, wrong thing. Yeah, we have a thing where it says like, okay, where it says kind of this. So we have the position size, and here's my calculator because I think an account with $0 or whatever. But yeah, you can calculate this here, and it's gonna calculate for you based on how much you want to invest per trade. So pretty useful, pretty cool trick to know exactly how to put in on a trade, and that just makes it easier to manage. Okay, so hope that makes sense, guys, and comment below again what you thought. And if you have any questions, if I can help in any way, comment below or reach out. I'll be happy to help. And I'll catch you back here once again tomorrow. By the way, I'm flying to Mexico tomorrow. It's gonna be pretty cool. Mexico again, and I'll catch you back there. All right, ciao.